Hi scholars, this is Mrs. Lust now with another cause of the American Revolution. Today we're going to talk about the Second Continental Congress. Don't worry, this is the last Continental Congress. It took place in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, about a year after the First Continental Congress, but something big happened between these two events. That was the Battle of Lexington and Concord, made a really big difference. So when they got back together, they said, what do we do now? We wanted peace, but it's looking more like war. So they had to make some decisions. In order to make those decisions, they needed delegates from all of the different colonies, or what we now know as states. Some of those delegates are very famous people like George Washington, Ben Franklin, Thomas Jefferson, John Hancock, and others. The first decision that they made was to create a formal army, a real professional army made of men that are well trained to fight in battles. Because before that, they only had militias, minutemen, who normally were candlestick makers or farmers or butchers. They weren't really good at waging war. So they created this army and they called it the Continental Army. The second decision they made was to hire a commander-in-chief. And they selected George Washington because of his very good track record in the French and Indian War, and also because he was a good leader. They trusted him. Now, he had retired to his beautiful plantation in Virginia, but because he really believed in the war effort, he came back to fight. The third decision was to have all of the colonies send money and send troops to join the Continental Army. The fourth decision was to make their own money. Before this, they had been using English money, money from Great Britain. But now they realize we're not going to be getting money from them anymore. If we go to revolution, we won't have their money, so how are we going to trade? So they created their own money system. And here are a few different examples of continental currency. Currency is a form of money. Look at the different denominations. They're very interesting. $1/3, $55, $3. Very interesting. Eventually, these continentals didn't have very much value, but now American money has lots of value. The final decision they made was to create the Olive Branch Petition. They believed that maybe, just maybe, the king was unaware of their problems. They believed that maybe there were people interfering between them and the king. So the king didn't really understand what was going on in the colonies. They thought maybe that's the case. So they wrote this Olive Branch Petition and they sent it directly to the king, not to Parliament, not to any of his advisors or governors, directly to the king. The king did nothing with it. He believed that they were acting treasonously, and he never even bothered to respond. Just for your information, an olive branch is a symbol of peace. So the Olive Branch Petition was their attempt to make peace with the king. So there's a great video that you can watch in the slides. And then you're going to do this activity. You're going to read this one-page article about the Second Continental Congress, and then you're going to do the problem solution Google slide about the Second Continental Congress. I'll show you how it works. You read the problem, then in here you're going to type your solution to this problem. All of the problems that I've listed here are answered in your text. For example, the militias were made of untrained minutemen who had other jobs. So what did they do to fix that? You could either review this video, or you could review the Google Slides, or you could go ahead and read the text, and that'll give you the solution. There's only 4, so this shouldn't take you too long. Good luck, stay healthy, and keep learning.